A very warm welcome to IDFC First Bank presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 14, co-powered by Star Health Insurance. I'm Ritwika Gupta. Today we'll be tracing the rubber industry's journey from immediate cost and supply pressures to the larger opportunity for India to build a globally competitive manufacturing ecosystem. From raw material pressures and global supply disruptions, where does India's rubber industry go from here? We explore whether the sector can turn its challenges into an India advantage in a conversation with Shashi Singh, immediate past president, All India Rubber Industries Association. Welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, Shashi.
Thank you.
So to begin with, the rubber industry is facing challenges ranging from raw material volatility and policy concerns. How is the All India Rubber Industries Association working to support the industry?
As our association is registered before independence, it's a more than 79-year-old association and having more than 1,500 manufacturers as our members, and having our head office in Mumbai and of a regional office in Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, and 2 chapters also Pune and Gujarat. And we are taking care of small MSMEs. Our members are mostly micro and small mini enterprises.
So natural rubber prices remain elevated despite some softening in global markets. How is this impacting India's rubber products industry, especially MSMEs?
No, it's impacting very a brutal way. You can say that the price is now, it's around 282 rupees per kg, and even for MSME, the big problem is that they cannot increase the price to their customer immediately. And not only the rubber, all other products like, carbon black, oil, chemicals, other synthetic rubbers, everything is going up. And over and above, the price of US dollar now is the highest.
Right. And what are the key challenges currently facing the rubber industry? And what support does the sector need from policymakers?
See, for policymaker, there are certain things required, basically the support, easy to access raw material at competitive price, stronger export initiatives, and faster refund mechanism, and technology of upgradation for MSME, and common testing, R&D and skilling infrastructure, and regular industries consultation before major trade or regulatory changes. This all sector to be covered by the government.
Sure.
This will help industries.
Now, India continues to face a significant gap between domestic natural rubber production and consumption. What steps are needed to address this challenge?
So India produced approximately 9.05 lakh tons of natural rubber in 2025-26, while consumption was around 14.27 lakh tons. This leaves a structural gap of approximately 5.22 lakh tons even before considering grade-specific requirement. Production increased by 3.4%, but consumption still grew to a much higher level. The priorities should be like improve yield from existing plantation. For example, Vietnam production per hectare is around 1,800 kg per hectare, whereas India around 1,400. Support replanting and specific tapping, expand cultivation in suitable non-traditional region, address labor shortage through the mechanism and trainings, strengthen collection, grinding, processing infrastructure,
Sure.
Maintain calibration import until new domestic plantation become a productive.
Right.
This is very important point. So India already have projects online. Is Inroad project Inroad has already brought about 1.79 lakh hectare under plantation in Northeast and supported more than 2 lakh beneficiaries. But these plantation will require time to reach on commercial production. To get the commercial production, it's required 7 years.
And how are rising raw material costs and supply side pressures affecting the competitiveness of Indian rubber product manufacturers in global markets? Also, how are global supply disruptions and changing trade dynamics influencing India's rubber manufacturing ecosystem?
So Indian manufacturers are facing increase in rubber chemical, energy, finance, and logistic costs. MSME are particularly if their purchasing volumes are smaller than the bargaining power and their bargaining power is limited. Global conflicts and shipping disturbance are creating longer lead times, higher freight costs, uncertainty in import inputs. At the same time, Indian manufacturers compete against finished product from countries where lower input cost or preferential trade access. Indian requirement is like reliable raw material access, efficient logistic and port infrastructure, competitive export, remission rates, review of inverted duty situation, where I have already mentioned you that 30 rupees or 25% per kg, whichever is higher, is chargeable in custom duty. Stronger trade remedies, monitoring against unfairly priced import. India should remain open to global trade, but trade policy must maintain a fair balance between grower welfare, downstream manufacturer, and national competitiveness.
Right. So, Shashi, many entrepreneurs today gravitate towards technology startups. What would you say to someone who overlooks manufacturing as an exciting business opportunity?
Technology create platform, but manufacturing create products, supply chain, skilled employment, long-term industries capacity. Rubber components are required in automotive industries, railways, defense, healthcare, constructions, electronics, agriculture, and renewable energy. Manufacturing is no longer only about large factories. Automation, digital quality control, advanced material, specialized production are creating opportunity for smaller technology-driven enterprises. Entrepreneurs who combine manufacturing knowledge with technology can build business that are difficult to replace or replicate and capable to serving global market.
Sustainability is becoming a key differentiator in global manufacturing. How is the Indian rubber industry adapting to greener materials, circular economy practices, and evolving ESG expectations?
No, this is a very good point, and India is already towards that, like recycled rubber and reclaimed rubber, longer life of lightweight component, energy efficient machinery, waste heat recovery, renewable power, water recycling, cleaner production system, better traceability of natural rubber, product redesign or reuse, retrading and recycling. Like nowadays, pyrolysis carbon black are used, pyrolysis oil are used.
Right.
Rice husk silica is used in rubber industries, and many companies has developed the synthetic rubber based on ethanol, like EPDM, which is that ethylene content of EPDM by ethanol. So these are things are going on.
And for entrepreneurs looking to enter the manufacturing sector, especially rubber and allied industries, where do you see the biggest untapped opportunities today? And what advice would you give them?
Precision rubber components for electric vehicle, seals, hose, gaskets, and vibration control products. These are the important requirements. Medical and pharmaceutical rubber products, railways, metro, defense, aerospace. These are the upcoming industries in a longer way, Rubber products for solar, wind energy, storage systems. These are the important points. Industrial safety and infrastructure appliances, applications, rubber recycling, reclaiming, circular economic solution, testing, mold design,
Right.
automation, and digital traceability services. My advice would be start with specialized application rather than commodity products. Understand the material science and customer performance requirement. Invest in testing and quality system from the beginning. Build close relationship with OEMs and research institutions. Think about export at the product development stage itself.
And what is the outlook for India's rubber products exports over the next 12 months or so? Which segments are expected to drive growth?
So India's rubber product export increased approximately $1.04 billion to $1.178 billion in 24-25, indicating growth about 13%. The outlook remain positive, supported by supply chain diversification and global interest in India as a manufacturing base, or you can say at a manufacturing hub. The world is looking up to India. This is the right time for looking for the export. However, growth will depend on input price, freight cost, currency movement, and access to major market. So potential growth segment includes automotive and engineering component, industrial hose, belt, seals and gaskets, medicals and pharmaceutical products, railways and infrastructure component, sustainable and recycled material product. The industries should focus on value-added product rather than competing only on price.
It's time for a quick break here. We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned. Welcome back to IDFC First Bank presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 14, co-powered by Star Health Insurance. Putting the spotlight on India's rubber industry tonight with Shashi Singh, immediate past president, All India Rubber Industries Association. So the theme for our show is Emerging Businesses, the India Advantage. When we talk about the India Advantage, can India emerge as a global manufacturing and export hub for rubber products over the next decade? What should be the industry's top priorities to ensure this happens?
Yes, of course. India has several clear advantages like large domestic market and stabilized rubber processing ecosystem, strong engineering and technical capabilities, a broad MSME manufacturing base, competitive skilled manpower, growing automotive infrastructure, defense, healthcare demands, improving access to international market through trade agreements. To become a global hub, the top priorities should be, as my point of view, secure the competitive price raw material, increase domestic natural rubber productivity, upgrade MSME through automation and modern technology, strengthen testing, certification, R&D and skill development, improve logistic and export support mechanism, encourage sustainable manufacturing and traceable supply chain, develop more high-value application-specific rubber products. India should not aim to become only a high-volume producer. Our objective must to become a trusted global source for high-quality technology and advanced and sustainable rubber products.
Now, the automotive industry has traditionally been the largest consumer of rubber products. With the rise of EVs, how do you see demand patterns changing? Is the industry prepared for this transition?
Yes, industries is already prepared because EVs started long time back and talks was there years before. Of course, there are certain, because there is no engine, so there are certain requirement of oil seal, etc. is reduced, but yet because of the heavy battery or noise, there are another new rubber part also introduced. So industries is prepare and rubber industries taking big role in that. So of course, yes.
Skilled manpower remains a challenge across manufacturing sectors. Is the rubber industry facing a talent gap?
See, for rubber industries, labor is a Hercules task because its use of carbon black. Nowadays, young generation doesn't want to, come to join rubber factories. So skilling also a problem and interest of the rubber problem, even in the tapping. There is the farmers facing lots of, shortage of labor, those who do tapping for natural rubber. Similarly, in the industries as well, the mixing mill operators, a huge shortage of mixing mill operators like, kneaders, mixing division, compounding, etc. This is also required on attention. And there are industries, even All India Rubber Industries Association along with the ATMA, Automotive Tire Manufacturing Association, they have set up a skilling called RCPSDC, where we are doing skilling work for the rubber industries, plastic as well. These are the, initiative is done from All India Rubber Industries Association. So yes, ministry also need to be focused more on the skilling, actual skilling for the industries where, lots of shortage. Rubber industries can create more job if the labors are available.
And beyond tires, which emerging sectors do you believe will create the next wave of growth for the rubber industry?
Yeah, beyond tire, see, rubber industries also a big beyond tire. There is more than 30,000 different kind of products manufactured by non-tire sector. And there are many synthetic rubber used other than natural rubber like EPDM, silicon, FKM, neoprene, NBR, SBR. So there are many synthetic rubber and many butyl, in fact, and many are not at all manufactured in India. Especially EPDM rubber is not manufactured in India. Silicon rubber is not manufactured in India. Nitrile rubber, some quantity is manufactured. Neoprene is not manufactured in India. So government should focus on this area as well and give some benefit on import, because it's 100% import on these categories. So that can be a good boom for the rubber industries. Similarly, there are certain products which people are not aware, like nowadays data center is there. So there are lots of rubber used in data center as well. Construction, every doors, windows have rubbers. Every automotive industries, other than tire, there are lots of products like hoses and oil seals are in a rubber industries, produced by rubber industries. We as a non-tire association having more than 1,400 members, which is registered with us all over India.
And finally, tell us, do you think the rubber industry has been overlooked despite being critical to manufacturing? What needs to change?
Yeah, because this industry is, so there is especially two government scheme is going on. One is PLI, Production Link Incentive, and one is ELI, Employment Link Incentive. Both are, rubber industries is out of that. So must be, government must plan something like that, because I know that PLI scheme for a bigger industries, the investment is required more but government can plan something like that where they can make a cluster for rubber industries, and they can invite rubber industries also in a PLI scheme or ELI scheme. This way, rubber industries can be helped.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Shashi. It was great speaking to you.
Thank you.
With that, it's a wrap on this episode of IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 14, co-powered by Star Health Insurance. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.